Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gaming with Scott. I'm here with Jay Payne.
How you doing?
And we're going to talk about, you're going to talk about your character there.
I am.
All right, what do we got?
So yeah.
You've been searching for a name.
I have. I've been
Pyro.
going through...
We're just going to go with Pyro?
Paizo, actually.
Paizo.
I've been going through a lot of names for my Marvel character. He's kind of like an electric
So Pyro's not even close. I get you. See what you're saying there.
Kind of thing. He doesn't shoot electricity so much as generates fields that he can shock people with and control and stuff like that. So I was kind of looking for a name that would not, that would fit. And really the best one I came up with at the time was Paizo for, Paizo electricity. But being that we're kind of in geek culture, using the name Paizo, there's a gaming company called Paizo.
Right.
And even though, like the gaming company? Yeah, exactly. Like Pathfinder? No,
yeah,
well,
no.
That would be cool. It's actually spelt differently, but pronounced the exact same.
Well, of course.
So rather than go with that, I came up with some other things like quartz, because the quartz crystal structure actually demonstrates piezoelectricity.
Yeah.
So I thought that might be good.
Nice.
Things like that.
The shocker?
Obviously not the shocker.
No, obviously not the shocker. Because there's always a guy that got the shocks gloves, but that's not what you're talking about.
Right. So, so I finally came up with one the other day. So my character didn't have a superhero name, and hasn't in the many months of history that the character has.
Right.
He's never gone by a name. So the name, drum roll please. Drum roll. Close enough. Is
I'll put in a drum roll.
Galvanic.
Galvanic.
Yeah.
Like the skin response or the reaction or the. Tell me about Galvanic.
Well, Galvanic is in general just kind of like a response, either due to electricity or a response caused by electricity. I can't honestly remember which one.
Nice.
There's something about chemical reactions causing electrical field or whatever. That kind of thing. So I think it kind of worked out, and I actually got the idea from a video game I was playing last week.
What were you playing?
Path of Exile. I don't know if you ever played it.
Never heard of it.
It's if you've ever played Diablo 2.
Yes.
It's basically a Diablo 2 clone that was started by programmers that worked on Diablo 2. But didn't like the direction it was going to be going for Diablo 3. So they left, started their own company, made their own game, basically using the Diablo 2 style.
Oh, okay.
But it's much more adult/serious in nature.
Oh, okay.
And so anyway, so I was playing that, and I came up against a bunch of creatures that were called Galvanic something or other, whatever they were. And I was like, and they were blasting me with electricity the whole time. So
nice.
I was like, let me check that out. So I looked it up, read the definition, make sure it kind of worked. And it works fairly well, I think. Phenomenal.
That's awesome. That is that's very interesting. And I like, the Galvanic Response is always, you can get it. They talk about it during polygraph tests, which they say, polygraph tests aren't admissible anymore. But even still, the Galvanic Response or the Galvanic reaction is palpable. It can be read. It will move a needle, and that's always a good thing. Or when you find that person, on the other side of the fence that is really like, ooh, you find them very attractive, and they give you a little kiss on the cheek, and it's like, you get those tinglies. That's a Galvanic Response.
Or if I shuffle my feet across the carpet, and then yesterday I fried our we have like a little box that our TV and the DVD player and the Xbox all hooked through.
Right.
Yeah, well, I went to touch it to adjust it, and it zap, and the whole thing just shut off.
Oh, no. Were you able to, unplug it for 10 minutes and plug it back in?
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
Thank goodness.
By the way, that is a good thing that if you don't know about, you need to learn, is if you blast any of your electronic components and they shut off, turning them on and off right away won't do anything. Unplug it from everything, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then plug it all back in and start it back up, and it will almost always work.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these electronics have internal sensors that will trip, if you overload them, but they're on a timer.
Right. So, or they're capacitor based. Because another one is they'll pop it, and as long as that capacitor has a charge, it'll keep it pop, because it's like, oh, no, there's more electricity here. And it'll slowly drain, and then that relay will fall back into place, as it were.
So if you think you fried your Xbox
that's exactly
10 years ago
what I thought.
and threw it out and bought a new one, maybe you didn't.
I tapped and was like, oh, no, and it didn't work, and it didn't work, and I was like, oh. So I put it in my, I loaded it up, and then forgot about it for 3 days, drove to the GameStop, and was like, can you plug this in? Can you check the thing? And they were like, whoop, fired right up. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I've done that to my Xbox, a DVD player, the little switcher box I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
I'm sure many other things, but once I learned that they have this internal timer kind of thing going on, it saved a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm with you completely.
So Galvanic Response.
Galvanic. Bring me the Galvanite. What? The Galvanite.
Galvanite. That's not bad either.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
New name.
All right. Well, then. There you go. You're a new race of people.
It'll be something like that.
Galvanic,
Galvanite.
when you procreate with Electro Girl, because I figure that's the only person you're going to, have babies with, is because everybody else is like, Zow!
Well, no, I generate it on demand, not all the time.
Well, when you're in battle, or perhaps adrenaline levels rise, when you're excited, perhaps. I don't know.
Speaking of which,
got a charge out of you, huh?
My character has a defense mechanism called deflection in the game, and I was reading about the 2 different types of deflection. They have the constant type, which is just a field that's always on and it never goes away unless it's breached. And then you have the kind that's on demand, where you have to say you want it to be turned on,
right,
and turn it back off.
I thought you were going with the constant one.
I am.
Okay.
The main reason why is because I realized with the history of my character, he didn't really realize what was happening, and he started testing to see whether or not he could be injured by jumping off a roof, running into a wall as fast as he could, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Just to see if he would be hurt. And he realizes now he can't be hurt because of this deflection field. Even bullets, or reflection field, I should say.
Right.
Even bullets can't penetrate it. So he thinks he can't be hurt. And I think it's going to be a much better situation, a much better game when he finally does get hurt. Because when the reflection power is breached, if you're using the constant version, you have to make psyche feats to basically bring it back.
Right.
Which will be interesting because my character's psyche is not great.
Yeah, less than optimal.
Less than optimal. I think that's actually the name of the power rank, less than optimal. Or there's a thing there, either the psyche feat or I believe it's 24 hours.
Right.
Or the next day, or something like that.
Like
so
you've gotten a good rest, and you feel.
Yeah. Then it kind of automatically kicks back on. So it's going to be interesting to see, what happens then.
And it was that similar moment in Luke Cage, when he's like, pew, 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 and they were like, let's use the.
Yeah.
And he goes,
yeah.
Oh, I gotta go now.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh crap.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think we're going to do. We will get there too. That'll be a good direction for us.
Yep.
That's going to happen. There'll be a big bad that everybody needs to gang pile in, and it'll
get shot with a Luke Cage bullet?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be different. It'll be the icy, steely, cold fingers of a shade that'll.
Sounds like fun.
Doesn't it though?
Can't wait.
When the Lord of Shadows shows up, it'll.
Are you tipping your hand here?
Could be. Maybe a little bit. That's okay, because we've got the dragon who's a fae who keeps bringing all. Well, he's not a fae,
right?
But he keeps bringing all the fairies around, and he's going to, if he keeps using his powers nonstop and doing things. I'll shift to this. I shift to that. I shift to this. I shift to that. They're all just going boom. Ooh, we're a little closer. We're almost find him. Let's go.
It's kind of like the ring. Using the ring when Sauron's looking around, right?
Yes, and it's like, what? He's over here. He's over here. So,
I see you.
Nice.
Yeah. And that'll do us tonight.
That'll do us tonight for Gaming with Scott. Thank you for sharing. I like the idea. It's good. I like the name. It's good stuff.
I think it's better than, superhero running around named Quartz. That just sounds dumb, you know? Or Paizo. I mean,
I still like 12 gauge.
Even though Paizo's a good description of it, it's not really a good superhero name, right?
Right.
So I think Galvanic works better. And 12 gauge is a much better name.
I think it is. Well, and I like it would have to be like, here we are, 12 gauge. Maleficent. Piezoelectric field generator. Well, that's because that's what I actually. It's a magnetic with electric, and there's a resonance to. Just shut up and fight. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it gonna? No, I like it. And galvanic carries. It's like, yeah, that's sexy.
Yeah,
and when you
so.
have babies, they will be galvanites.
Sure,
that's what I'm saying.
Why not?
Right. Well, because we're gonna fast forward, and there'll be a thing.
But
where
we
it's
don't
like,
know.
Now you've got a family,
We don't know.
and
We don't know.
super electric girl. I don't know. Maybe insulator woman.
Okay.
I would
Let's
say,
just say okay.
I would
move
say
on.
making with babies with her would be okay, but really, seriously, dude, she's really well grounded. So, you had the question
I
about
said this
whether
yesterday.
you should.
Get out. You are officially off the podcast.
I'm done. I just got booted. Alrighty. Thank you for listening, boys and girls, and as always, you'll hear from us real soon.
Bye.
I gotta get out.